You gotta be honest with me. I mean, who doesn't have a TikTok account these days? It seems like no matter where you look, there are people dancing to the latest challenge on this app. This app is so successful that you might be curious who's the CEO. He must be really rich, don't you think so? Bonjour! Today we're heading to the home of the person behind this trending app. Êtes-vous excité? Let's get going! In Singapore, there exists a category of homes known as good class bungalows, or GCBs, which are considered the most expensive properties in the country. These mansions cost tens of millions of dollars and come with such extravagances as indoor and outdoor pools, tennis courts, and wine cellars. Julian Yip, a real estate agent, has seen many absurdly well-off individuals compete for the chance to secure one of these mansions. The resident of one GCB put a chandelier in the master bedroom to emphasize the exceptional nature of his home. Sit down! We all know Singapore is just a small country, just 281 square miles. And the fact that the government owns 90% of the land there makes owning a private estate uncommon. Wow! Take a look at this Ferrari. C'est magnifique! I tell you, this is the ultimate dream for every Singaporean or even other nationalities. Can you imagine having a home that huge in Singapore where there's limited land available? Wow! You must be rolling in dough if you're capable of doing that. It's no surprise that while real estate markets in other cities around the world have declined, the cost of private residences in Singapore has doubled. Did you know that in 2019, a GCB was sold for a whopping $170 million? That's more than double the previous record. The growth in just 2 years is incroyable. GCBs have been around the 1800s and were initially called early Singaporean bungalows. As ownership passed from European authorities to affluent Chinese merchants and business people, the styles developed over time. After Singapore gained independence in 1965, GCBs moved inland and replaced colonial designs with newer ones. It's nice to know that the Singaporean government came up with the term good class bungalow back in the 80s, and they made a bunch of rules to make sure that the traditional low-rise style of GCBs was preserved. And mind you, they are very strict in their construction policy. Allo pronenont. GCB is owned by less than half of Singapore's population, and the government has allocated just 39 portions of the land for the exclusive properties. So it really comes down to what land they are on. This GCB is located in Bukit Sedap, close to Nassim Road, Singapore's billionaire row. This property is on the market for $48.7 million, which is almost twice the average price of a GCB in 2022. For a home to be considered a GCB, it has to be on a residence that's at least 1,400 square meters, and the building itself has to take up 40% of the land. Enormous. It's time to go inside. There are a total of 7 bathrooms and 6 bedrooms in this fresh new house, in addition to the dry kitchen, as well as a reading area and an incredibly spacious dry kitchen that can be pulled down. It also has a wet kitchen next to the dry one. That's the Asian cooking kitchen over here. And just beyond the dining area, the al fresco dining spot can be seen. Ooh la la! The pool and garden are 2 must-haves for a GCB. The newest ones, completed in the last several years, have enough space for over 20 vehicles. If you're a car enthusiast, then this place will surely capture your heart. J'adore! Additionally, as per the regulations set by the government, a minimum distance of 3 meters from the property wall must be maintained while constructing the house, and won't be put up next to one other even if space is limited. What else to consider? The building cannot exceed a height of 2 stories, but the owner can be creative to make the home look larger than it is. This space includes a complete basement, along with a miniature theater adjacent to an 8,000 bottle wine cellar. De la folie! Oh, we're heading up to the third floor of the house. Oh, this third story is pretty short, so we may think of it as an attic. This place is truly a work of art. The junior master bedroom is enormous, and the bathroom of this room is a fantasy. It has a chandelier. Now, we're gonna talk about the star of the show. That gorgeous $86 million mansion right behind me that has recently been acquired by none other than the CEO of TikTok. As we approach the wealthy neighborhood, the lushness of the environment becomes increasingly apparent. What kind of favoritism is this? There is an abundance of high-quality bungalows in this region, which is bordered by the Singapore Botanic Gardens and the renowned shopping district of Orchard Road. Madame Monsieur, Saya. You can tell that wealthy people value privacy and security. This screams very private, like you can really hide here. Even though Singapore is one of Asia's wealthiest nations, there are tens of millions of dollars at stake here. I tell you, this level of wealth is not easily attainable. Je veux être si riche. These homes are pretty expensive. Only the top 3% to 5% of people in Singapore can afford them. While some owners are old money, there are others who worked hard to be where they are now. A part of that 3% is the TikTok CEO, Mr. Xiaoji Chu. So, why are GCB prices rising when other high-end property markets throughout the globe are falling? It's just as easy as supply and demand. Singapore is a small country, and the government owns a majority of the land, with a significant portion dedicated to public housing for citizens, which can be owned for a fixed 99-year period before returning to the government. However, they will not be able to pass it on to future generations. Private land, on the other hand, has no term limitations on ownership. As a result, they view real estate as a viable method to increase their wealth, with the value of the properties tend to appreciate with time. Interessant. The government is not planning to sell more land to the private market in the near future. The existing pool of supplies will remain unchanged indefinitely. As these properties are in demand, their prices continue to soar. Currently, there are only 2,500 to 2,800 GCB on the island, and they are rarely put up for sale. Oh no! I can't wait to be rich so I can afford these homes. Because you know, there were times there were only less than 20 up for sale. Oh mon Dieu! Imagine the chaos! Real estate brokers have a hard time marketing luxury properties because of their high price and high status. Some homeowners prefer to keep their desire to sell private, which further complicates the process. In such scenarios, pocket listing has emerged. Amidst the exclusive nature, the prices of GCBs continue to surge. In certain regions, the price of a GCB per square foot is estimated to have increased by approximately $600 or more than 50%. This rise in demand can be due to the pandemic, which has led people to appreciate spacious living environments, especially with the rise of remote work. Many wealthy individuals are attracted to Singapore as it has one of the world's lowest corporation taxes. Despite the Singaporean government's efforts to curb the market, price increases are still foreseen. This District 21 home is a good class property, and the monthly rent will soon exceed $37,000. We are now entering through the basement. Keep in mind the rule of 2 stories. The parking garage isn't including in the level count. Take these steps to enter the home at ground level. If you glance at your neighbors, you'll see that they're just fascinated by their roof. So, this is what it looks like inside. Quel bel intérieur! This home measures around at over 7,000 square feet. A split-level dining space may be found on the left side of the home. The maid's quarters are located just beyond the kitchen. Given the size, most owners typically have at least 2 or more helpers to assist with daily tasks. Is buying a home in Singapore on your wish list? It is important to note that the final rule for GCBs is that you must be a Singaporean citizen. Not unless you have a whopping $200 million, then you might be considered. However, this is quite uncommon. Ryan Kasa. It's common for foreigners to rent while looking for GCBs. For example, the tenant here is from China and is occupying the sun's room. Each room must be equipped with an attached bathroom for added convenience. From si John T. Now we're in the main bedroom, which features a spacious walk-in wardrobe, along with a bathroom located adjacent to it. Although not as costly as District 10, this neighborhood is still valuable as evidenced by the almost $30 million price tag. Nevertheless, the escalating prices of GCBs have broader implications for the rest of Singapore's population. It's a sign of a broader increase in prices throughout the nation, which ought to alarm citizens. It's just sad to witness the continual surge in pricing for private properties over time. I feel sorry for the younger generations. Voila! We have finished exploring the mega mansion of TikTok's CEO. Did you enjoy the additional info we provided about the housing in Singapore? Share us your comments and insights below. If you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button and click the bell icon so you never miss any of our future uploads. Can't wait to share our next upload full of luxury with you. Merci!